All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Haven't posted a video in a long time. Been mostly posting shorts, but there's only so much you can get into a short video. It's only 1 minute, so I'm gonna post a bit of a longer video today, although I won't keep it too long. Also, forgive me about the audio. I'm having some mic issues, so I'm using the desktop audio. So please forgive me, but um, it is what it is. Let's get into the chart. And this is the SPY daily, of course. And I guess since we hit the lows in October's, since we hit the lows in October, we've been we've been trending higher since, right? And this trend line that we have here, we have respected it twice already, which um, I am loving this action, right? Especially if you're swing trading, this is really good. Um, Last week we had quite a bit of a sell-off. Well, it wasn't really last week; it was a week before. And last week it was a choppy week. Traded in this area, and then I think if I'm not mistaken, that was Thursday. Thursday we sold off, broke the trend line, but we didn't stay below the trend line for long, right? Think about midday Thursday, we just rocket ship back, reclaimed the trend line, also reclaimed the 160 moving average. And Friday, of course, we continued higher. We did run into some resistance up here at the 20 moving average, and that's a simple moving average. Um, and today, of course, we opened up. Um, the market wasn't really doing anything today. Um, Traded higher for a bit, but then we just came back flat. Um, the candle that we formed today, though, is a bearish candle, which it did confirm my suspicion that we might, and it's a strong possibility that we could have some pullback right back into this trend line before we move higher. Mainly because we have a lot of things going on this week. I think we have some Fed speak. We have the Fed speaking, and next week also we have CPI data. I think the following week after that is um, the FOMC, if I'm not mistaken. So the market is a bit spooked right now. So even though we pushed higher last week, the market is spooked right now because um, there's fears that CPI might come in hot, right? Inflation might still be running hot. And if inflation is still running hot, that means Fed is going to raise interest rate a bit higher, right? Instead of 0.25, we might get a 0.50. And that's going to be playing out this week. So we could possibly see a pullback back into this trend line. Um, if CPI is hot, it's a possibility we're coming right back down into this area 380s, right? High 380s. Um, that's the area to watch if CPI is just too hot. However, if those numbers come in and it's not bad at all, then that would just heat it would ease the fear that the Fed is gonna raise rates zero point 0.5, well, 50 basis points. And at that point, we could see a continuation, which we have we do have some resistance up here. If we come, say we come, say we pull back into this trend line and we're starting to bounce, the area to watch is 414 to 418. You break out of that, then 420 is another area to watch. And if we break out of 420, I think we could run to 430. However, that is far in the future. Um, and as of right now, everything is a bit in we're in a bit of a gray area right now that we're just waiting on CPI data. However, I do like the support down here at the 160 moving average and also the trend line. I do think that might hold. Um, but of course we don't know, right? So just watch for the next few days for the pullback. Again, this is a bearish candle. 20 moving average also pointing down. We do have some support right here, the 9 moving average, but I don't really use the 9 as a, for me, the 9 is not a strong support level to watch. It's more just of a momentum moving average, right? So that I don't pay attention too much unless we're in a uptrend or a downtrend. Right now we're kind of in limbo, so that I just forget about this right now. So let's look at another chart that I'm looking at, which I'm very interested in and I have a position in, and that's gonna be AMD. Um, Again, if the market starts to sell off, we're coming back. We're gonna head back down into this area 76, 75. Um, that's the area of support to watch. If the market starts selling off, if we break those levels, then I mean, who knows where we could head? Because tech is usually very volatile. So I'm gonna watch that. And by the way, I do have a swing trade position going on in AMD right now, but I bought down here in this 77 area. I forgot what day exactly I bought, but it was somewhere 77. I have the out of the money $85 puts for, I think, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of April, the April 21st, which I'm gonna keep an eye on. Um, because I do think in the short term we could, by late March, we could be somewhere about 86, possibly even 90, trading into the between 90 and between 85 and 90. I think we could be in that area in the next month if everything plays out as planned. So I'm gonna watch that. I do like the setup on the chart. We have this sideways action back here in October that we held for a while, which I think I made a short the other day saying that I don't think I've seen a chart like this in a while for a stock that trade with this much volume. This was just a weird price action, man. And then it finally broke out, ran into this resistance right here at 75, broke back down, test this area, and then we finally broke out of 75, and now we're retesting the 75. So that gave me a bit of a confidence that this 75 area is going to be a nice support level. So that's why I picked up some calls at 77 with the stop right below 75. If we break 75, then I'm out because obviously the pattern would have been broken, right? We also have the 160 moving average right here, exactly at 75, well, 75, 75. That's where it's at right now, which for me is a nice support level. So I'll be watching that in the next few days. The um, the candle today is a bit bearish, but I mean the market was bearish today, so I do think we might see some kind of pullback before the curl higher. Um, Resistance up here at 88, but I mean I'll reevaluate this trade once, or if we hit 85, right? So that's one chart I'm watching. Um, I am also watching this chart right here. This is a very interesting chart to me. And I feel like this is more of a long-term position hold that I already started buying this, to be honest. This is Shopify. And I think Shopify, once this breaks out of this trend, um, for me, this is gonna head back right up in. There's a possibility that we head back into the hundreds, but that's a far away in the future. But I think if we do break out of this area that we've been trading in, 75, 76, possibly 80, is an area to watch. But as you can see here, I mean, what is this? May of 2022. This is just straight sideways action. And I should have been buying back here, right? Because I would have been able to build a nice position because we dropped even as low as 24. But I mean, I think it's still early. I don't think it's too late. So I am buying. I have some shares, about 40 in this area, and I'm gonna watch for the curl up. If does push back down a bit, I will pick up some more because I do think in the long term, Shopify is going to be a 75, $80 stock, possibly even higher. So that is a stock to watch if you are planning on investing in this. Remember, this is not an investing or investment advice. This is not any professional advice. This is just my personal take on what I think, right? I do think another stock for the long term is a good buy, and this is Intel. And if you haven't noticed, I really like the tech stocks, right? So Intel, I mean, I know they're going through a bit of a rough patch right now, but I do think Intel should be back into 30 or $40 level by the end of the year, going into 2024, right? And I do think for me personally, this is an area to watch and also an area to probably pick up some shares. And that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next couple of months because I do think if we trade in this area for the next few months, once we break out of this what is this $30 level, then I don't think there's any holding this thing back. And also, if you're swing trading, look at this pattern, man. Since October, this has been a beautiful chart to swing trade. Lows of 25, highs of 29, 30, back down into the 25, back up into the 30s, back down as low as 24. And I mean, if this continue to play out, then I mean, who says this is not going to $30 again, right? So that is a chart to watch, especially if you're swing trading. You want to see if you're swing trading, these are stocks that you need to look at because look at these patterns. I mean, if you are willing to hold, this is what October, and then mid mid November is back into the 30s. If you can hold for 4 weeks, this is a nice trade, right? 25 to 30, and then again, what is this? The end of December, and then oh, this is not even a this wouldn't even be a bad trade, right? However, as far as placing your stops, this would be a little bit tricky right here. But I feel like right here, I mean, this is a better entry. You have the support, and I mean, this can move back up into 30s real soon if we don't break. Of course, if we break 24, then I mean, it's a wrap. We don't know where we're gonna head in this. Um, Another one here is Apple. Apple, Apple is a bit interesting today, right? Because the market was flat, Nasdaq was flat, and lo and behold, I look, Apple is rocket shipping up. I think at one point this might have been up maybe about 3%. However, sold off going into the day. I think I'm not 100% sure what bank issued a buy rating for this for Apple, and it just traded higher today. However, this is a brutal sell-off. This this is crazy, right? There's a lot of sellers up in this 155, 156 area. And you can see this even back in October when the market was selling off and Apple, Apple doing Apple things, rocket shipping up. In this 155, 156 area, a lot of sellers, a lot of sellers. Same thing over here in, what is this? February, rejected. Gapped up into this area again today, rejected. So we know this 155 area is an area that is a lot of resistance up here, which also makes for, I mean, you need to watch this area because if we do break out this 155 area, then I mean, God knows where this could head back, maybe into the 160s, 170s. Do I think we're gonna head back into the all-time highs? Not anytime soon, maybe the end of the year going into next year. But this could be a nice uptrending chart for the rest of the year. Not good. I mean, it's Apple, so I do expect this thing to continue higher. We have again Tesla. Um, Tesla is a bit interesting because I um ever since we hit this level down here in early January, 100, and we rocket ship up 160 moving average. Very, very, very good resistance or bad resistance, whatever you want to call it. And I'm a bit conflicted on Tesla, right? Because I do love Tesla. I do think we're going to be back into 200, 250 soon. But I can't ignore this resistance up here, right? And I can't also ignore this gap down here. Um, Also, we have MACD bearish crossover. We have the 20, the 9 crossing the 20, which is also bearish. So this could continue lower. I'm going to watch this 180 level. If we break 180, then 168, and even as low as 160. If we break 160, then I think we're heading right back to 145, close the gap before we curl back up. And I wouldn't be surprised if we retest this zone because Tesla is volatile and we all know this, right? Which brings me to the reason why I'm also conflicted, right? Because if for some reason within this time frame Tesla we have news about Tesla releasing this new vehicle that they've been teasing for a while, then do I think this is coming back down to 145? Hell no. This is going to rocket ship up because there's going to be a lot of FOMO for people that missed out on this big rally up. And you have this, there's going to be all these people that are investing in Tesla, anticipating this thing to move higher. And it's just going to bring this FOMO element into the chart. And God knows where this can go. Right. So pretty much those are the charts that I'm watching. I mean, I don't want to go too far and I don't want to make this video too long. So I think I'm going to end it here. But like I said, um, watch these charts, especially Tesla. You never know what's going to happen. But my favorite chart so far would be the AMD and the Intel. Those are, oh, and also Shopify. Those are potential swing trades and even long-term investment. Okay. So until next time, I guess, peace.